Memo ache na memo akwa abayamfa mbra Nnawotwe adwumadie so ewo Adom TV. If you answer I try ne ho ewo Asempa 94.7 FM na Nnawotwe akọ round aba betu ebiem ewo se me ne wo yesi nkonya na yedwen oman Ghana ho se ye man nya oboade cha ade no ne odemaye ane oman we ya yetimo no enti se koyi o se nkoyi o ejina me ne wo nso ekoyi eboaye anko yesu a ya ankasa ena baba tu yanim na nei na wotwe nse bebre na SCC enti no ye befa mu miensa na afi ye de ho nkomo na ne ena President John Dramani Mahama kopie wo China na oni mpenifo be di nkomo no ena oka se ye Ghana de enche na yenya oba oyo mampani e wo Ghana ha na ye ni ye bisa se the President John Mahama or pushing na Jane Opoko Wajiman the presidential agenda na say it is saying and they besin kunyana ya dwendwe again Alan Chomantin so at the party movement for change why no United Party okay say the New Patriotic Party efa omo history efi UP tradition no yana Alan ede ne movement no akwa ne United Party no we dey bisa say Alan UP no eyade a ebebo sa NPP and NDC omumie no power more in terms of elections e Ghana no oba bebreke no and as a way dey oh enya hwe bia sa NPP ne NDC Duopoly omo enjoy no UP no betumi athreaten no de ye bedwendwen ho na otwe so na beto ogwa say court ashe say Ahmed Swale ne alleged killer obi a no mususu se ameswale wu no wu ye no onim hu bi no enam attorney general advice or the ma prosecutor ntino omo ahye ne se omo njaa ma nko nti court jaa no e ma na ekọ ye bisa se ye via enfa biom ena ye konsebwe ena ye ba bedi hu enkomo na mene Dr. Ekuamo Ako on ye the deputy director for the Baumia campaign Yanino Bedin Komo. Godwin Mahama, Director of Communications for Tama Oil Refinery, Obabe Kansani and Edin Komo. John Agbete Bejoni via Zoom, private legal practitioner. Samuel Nana PR security analyst, Yanino Bedin Komo on the Ameswale and Sen Semno. Jonathan Asantiotre, political science lecturer or University of Cape Coast. Ora Dr. Tutu Boahin, political marketing or University of Education whenever you know me na bedin komo e wo yensem wesu ye twa hotel na yaba don semno wesu ko you from Samuel Kojo Brace on behalf of the production team the camera the directors memo akwaba ye twa ho ne yaba oni entra well memo akwaba bi we na memfa mbra na watche dwumadie so na yenko the Alan Chairman team movement for change I name ababe the United Party na watche we na omopa party no ntama omo kire se omo agenda 2040 to transform Ghana kwan ben so be fire sa also mu wini elections no say ba no ba ne de omo ba no ma ba wini election yenko sa launch na sene yenko hwe yenko tie nsem ne bi omo kan ya fa ye ba ye ne Dr. Tutu Boahin bedin komo
United Party UP onipa oda no alankojo chemantin ekasa abra oda nedi wodi tudwa se ho behia pa se oman no eka no bom e wasumdue mu na yade ebeboa pa amagana enya ginabia eba na bibimam.
Our mission is to provide equal opportunity for all Ghanaians, not for some, but for all Ghanaians. What we have been witnessing since independence is that the opportunities are open for only a few people. The United Party is going to change that dynamics. And it is to provide the opportunity for every Ghanaian to realize their full potential.
Acting National Chairman Emma United Party Abubakar Sadiq Bonafis enso ebo NPP amanyoko ne chipa enam se woni ni nuanum bi eyi wono efri eye amanyoko nim.
Today they claim they are giving us amnesty. What does amnesty mean?
What crime has our new leader committed? What crime did I commit in NPP for you to sack me? And today you are telling me you are giving me amnesty. No way. No way. When you divorce in Islam, when you divorce a woman 3 times, she's no longer your wife. So that kingdom come. I consider myself. I consider people like Alai Baba Naji in the Islamic fraternity.
All right, it's member of Kwaba Beokoti near Koso the United Party launch na say Alan Kojo Tromantika say Boniface Adika the acting national chairman for the United Party na also Edin Komoho na menka omane so na me ne Dr. Tutu Boahene ono say ba the political marketing Adom sukoyi papa otiase or the University of Education whenever Edin Komo doc marching medicine so say and yes, I can't afford so I know Baby Dinkomo. Now, United Party, Alan Chaman, Tenenedom, Akoti, who is saying? Hello, Dr. Boy, okay. Pursue one year to me, Dr. Tutu Boahene, on political marketing. Na yene na dinko because United Party be succeed and non succeed it depending on how well on between market your and that's why Dr. Tutu Boahene one of the right people are able to many dinko when it comes to analyzing the issues concerning United Party no mote no ote in some no mo say ade anyes o mobile say but they really want to upstage NPP NDC Duopoly in Ghana. Political history from '93. You share then your third force be was shaky NDC NPP. Dr. Tutu Boahene, Marchi, Bajo, Bibia Boko there.
Kojo, Mejo so you are doing your now so what is it?
Me hoye papa. Na me pese me no sha sefi senior wo sa United Party yete no ye pa ho tam within the week o hu the same from where you stand.
Yo, I mean here a chief for Oma no modin kita ho studio ni 2 members. Yeah. So from time when Ghana for be mum ekasa omotre se say NDC NPP omutima yo model enti ehube hin say a third force enti say Ghana for no share ni mu say a third force but it's 396 eba no yehu say enipaku bi timi ka omo bom say almost 80 party yehu say independent candidate ankra nigina so almost about the 3 months ni akunya na wa share sa Adom na say baby beto abano NPP ni NDC amode was above 95%. Na when we say party we are almost the person who be NDC NPP twice year kunyama almost so almost amode mono and then 5% no money 10% no more say oma ho den omu dwumadie ntimi nkon cancer enti for some time now microphone so because say na omani party mi pe na ebetimi atre se omu ebedi omani so na say ebi mo so akansi so bia say Ghana a duopoly country say party mi fe na betimi omani iso enti Yura Kojuta Martin actually party was free movement for change. Na party United Party na or the aba. Say a idea Ghana for no be schedule.
Wait, sorry, Doc. And yes, we're free movement for change. You move for change and no more dying in the United Party, no.
In political branding,
okay.
Yeah, political branding. So there's a difference between a movement and a political party.
Okay.
So we cannot say for a fact say it matters if people can say we're rebranded. So an independent candidate is not the same as a political party. In the 2024, no independent candidate. Now, we are done on a movement. You know, a political party. Now, you rebrand what exists. You don't rebrand anything. So that's it. In 2024, a party and not a movement for change. And as you see, the political party where the United Party, then we call it a rebranding. But 2024, no political party. So we cannot rebrand it to become, say, a friend, say, a United Party.
Okay.
But when
yeah, but now me person who say, and so be in that movement, more any political party. So I want to mean brandy, and I won't change it from movement to party. No.
We say as an independent candidate. I don't know if you.
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Now he's going as a political party, and leader is flag bearer of a political party. That's the difference.
Okay.
And that's the key difference.
Okay.
So, Ghana for share new BB the third force are competing very well, you know, with the two major political parties. They did not come to be just to participate, so but they came to compete. I think that is an aim in the right direction. So because you cannot just come and say it's a multi party. Now what your focus will be to compete. And if you are competing, you know, what are the key aims and what are the key objectives for the competition? You know, you may compete, but not too committed to the competition. You know, you may compete, but you will not be too trustworthy of the competition. And you may equally not also pull, you know, large followers, you know, to patronize your political party. So these are some of the things that I think that for now, no, on chef, the party, because history actually is it moved by for the first year, now almost strong. But moving into the second, third years, you know, that party now what you know, never perform. No maybe as a song here, or here, it's a crown, which that NTMD. The be more Obeti Omudi, be more, not as the election public. And no crown, sometimes they struggle to get candidates, you know, to lead the party and even say parliamentary, you know, candidates. But you see, your level of seriousness, your appeal, attractive power, it will not go down well with people. I'm out for the funny as Messi. The moment you attack with that phrase, is that Obaye, not just party in the so, I'm saying, you're Alan, Quadruple Martin, on any party in Crawford, or share the beer, or more shots, you know, other smaller parties now, almost here, Bedford, and Crawford, President Combe, the be almost share a share, and no maybe I'm cool, a woman to the deal, and you almost seem to know, you know, almost share na omo entrack it and money na that the bay 8 me affected United Party no that the fan is the opposite no so the show is Uga Pedro Martin is a seasoned your friend is a seasoned politician. Beyond that, he's well recognized, across the world. Offer sad values, offer sad achievements, those experiences, offer the movie part, and then come for yourself. Ghana there will be intimidated force, so there are certain things I'm conforming, and once self-obey me and meet that expectations, the unconformation is obey Yano Kwandia and Yamufoze obey me so. But for now, I think that the strength of the NDC and NPP also, on a more serious note, also, I mean, you see clearly from EC data, say from 96, it has always been about 90%, 95%. Sometimes these smaller parties, under 2%, people under 3%, no support. So you want to find out, say, Ghana form a third party. Ghana form for third party. What are they expecting? I mean, it's a serious work that he has to do rather than just coming up with a political party. I've also observed that you see, so now about this one, my personal research has shown that now we focus is on the competitor. You can't survive.
Now come baby say historically.
Yeah.
I mean, parties are opposing like to be strong third force. I think the Abu Sakara-led CPP, Dr. Mahama-led PNC at a point, Papa Kwesindum CPP, Papa Kwesindum PPP, and an Ansenya Cheddar. Bombing in our crown to mean cross it 5% really. So a third force just in name and now to cause a shake up to the NDC and NPP such that Obiba Benya bear 30% of the and pass away a third force. If say UP bet me sir, then also more to me.
But last question, there are a lot of things and it will require a roundtable discussion from on this platform. To be very difficult for me to move into the details. But the first one has to do with the fact that I think 2016, Gum, Ebated from.
Yeah, okay,
and
yes.
Then I think 2020, Cheddar was also dead.
2024.
2024, yes.
Yeah.
2024, Cheddar was dead. So, and I think Gum again did well in 2020.
Yes.
But like you rightly said, they couldn't cross the 5% mark. So, now the next question is as to whether Gum and Cheddar Yinamo or maybe to me a rally support behind them, or probably to consolidate their gains and probably leverage on other gains to be able to improve on their performance. I mean, obviously in 2024, Gum Edropay came so low. So it means that the support base it's almost gone. What is going to happen to Cheddar in case he wants to come in 2028? So these are things. In fact, Cheddar Yeduma, in fact, for almost all the university campuses in Nnawotwe before the Konari Cares, you were non students, that kind of thing, or Yeduma. But again, like Pakwesindum were registered people, membership, my t-shirts have been supporting all my activities in Nnawotwe for at the grassroots level. What happened? I mean, we couldn't get the support. One of the things that mostly my person making us the answer on last question here said the doubt said when we vote for a third party won't win the election. So me toma na me well win ya na me vote asay. So
yeah,
that is one key thing that you hear people talking about. Most people are not able to give concrete, evidence. Community will be passed. At the point at the point the only thing I almost can't say that the name of too much business when we are not vote to say. It 1% vote to best, So in as much as and for a call for third force, woman can also have a certain doubt in their mind.
Okay.
So
all right.
The next thing that probably they may want to do, and I say Alan may want to do, he needs to find out reasons here. Other ones now he can't see and some no better party. And that so even Alan himself.
Okay.
How he was known in NPP, the popularity and strong, and the brand that he built, that was NPP. But the bar movements for changing, it wasn't like that.
Martin.
So, what I think.
Martin, medasi Dr. Tutubu Ahene for Wombra Wanyadi Amaye on the show. If you win by Yanko Cape Coast, na yene Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochre, Nansa Nano, Mami introduce me guest about studio. Mahama, a PRO for Tama Oil Refinery, or Kasadema the NDC around this table. Mahama, we ever go there?
You are the million now, sir.
Okay, Miss Hoyapa. Maybe I could eat.
Maybe I could eat. Papa.
Now can't offer the enemy count. You ever do?
Oh, I need it. Don't worry. I keep assuring you on that.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Bompai say, dear, Mijina saw at the AD's uncle. Ever materialize.
Okay. But Bibia Koso.
Oh, yeah, Bibia Koso.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, Doc, Doc, the Deputy Communication Director for the Dr. Baumia Camp, Dr. Ekwiyamwakum. Good morning.
Good morning.
Bibia Boko.
Boko, Nnawotwe.
Adom, no means to me. Fantina Canada, Katrino.
Chio.
Ekatrino.
Static a cracker.
Campaign ko yere.
Campaign ko ye pa ye Dr. Baumia Water Chimana no pay. Our party for in AD in Kitahudi Kakra. Bibia ko ye so far I started from Wednesday till now no. Reception from party for no idea my Irish Mopa say indeed still MPP soon no that's what I Dr. Baumia echi. So ye be bonfire man say the baby could be anyame for Mundru Boko.
Okay. All right. Afi yanko ahoma so ne Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochre enkodi nkomo ono ewo Zoom ayene ba bedi nkomo doc marching bibi aboko. Hello Dr. Ochre, good morning bibi aboko. Doc Mbacho on mute na American.
Is it, can you hear me now?
Meto on kasisia ke ogaboko is it?
Oh yeah, Adom.
Okay.
But since I didn't knew Obama, but more baby.
Oh, okay. All right. You. Now, you share the United Party. Esha impact ben na United Party benya in our political dispensation.
Well, so Esha history. It's Adom Fantin dating can to who some come to no one come fantin.
No. I mean, may I comfortable be any okay?
What's your more? Okay, I'm fantin finish. I don't fantin for one ham kaka. More mean there's actually the history so far. Let's just say, Yan Fourth Republic, for example, as a starting pointer. We are yet to have a third force which may create a situation now. Yeah, call a runoff. And sometimes third force now. My question in there is some kind of ambiguity in there. when we talk of third force, are we looking at a force that will upstage or be very competitive with respect to the NDC NPP politics? Or a third force, a kingmaker in the process? Like, for example, without a honor and to win outright election, then that be also, is that our definition of a third force? The other aspect in the third force, that is an alternative to the NPP and the NDC duopoly. So that is the conceptual, understanding and framework of a third force. So far, no, actually, ma'am, under yen democracy no presidential or yen parliamentary. Until when they talk of 50+1, then the person has just crossed. But if it were to be that parliamentary system now, then maybe there will be formation of alliances in parliament so that the prime minister, could be selected from the majority of the alliances. Now, that being said, actually history now, it has not really favored any of these names that have come up. The likes of Papa Kosindum, you mentioned Dr. Abu Sakara, fantastic gentleman. We all saw the impact of Dr. Mahama of PNC, or whether PNP, or I think it's PNC, yeah. So we can also talk of Mr. Guzitando, Dr. Ruekubobe, Hassan Ayarega, all some of these splinter groups have come about because of one misunderstanding or the other between the mother party and some of these individuals. And I think I've mentioned Dr. Papa Kosi Indu, and so on and so forth. So the current one is Mr. Alan Chamante's movement for change that has metamorphosed into United Party. Impact, well, I don't think they can make an immediate impact. But what is intriguing is where they are coming from. And the immediate impact will be on the NPP, because that is their stronghold, and that is where the leading member or the advocate of the UP is equally coming from. That aside, now, I see within the UP important stalwarts, people who are achievers, people who have done well in their lives, either in politics or in business. They also come with some different characteristics altogether. So I see in them a group that may have resources at their disposal that may not be the Nipa nor champion. I don't know. I think that they want to put their money where their mouth is. Bandama, then we can see there one of the conceptual frameworks that you see as third party or third force, they could easily become one. Because unless the dynamics will show differently. In actual fact, both NDC and NPP do not have what it takes to win outright victory.
Okay.
They don't have what it takes. They are hovering around 40-something, maybe 45, 46. They're about 47. Now, what has been happening over the period is that disgruntled members of a particular party, especially one of Wabanim, two, the neutrals within the system, our own business is ongoing. Three, they're not aligned. One year day. So on the spur of the moment, what should they say? Nyamaru kuya, not one for hade. Nyamaru kuya, not one for hade. So these and many, the undecided, they're not aligned. These are the people who determine whether the NDC or the NPP will win the national elections. Therefore, if these people are captured, these groups, these demographics are captured by the UP, then it means the UP will gradually become the third force that we are looking at. The other thing too is that, Eshoma, the unfortunate thing that could happen to the NPP is the fact that one abana about two or 31st January no. They should ensure that anybody, any group, any presidential candidate that is losing, especially I'm speaking to the arbiters, that is losing must lose fairly. It should be transparent, should be transparently done, transparently organized. They shouldn't create any advantage or disadvantage for any of these people. Or either man, they will be laughing at the wrong side of their mouth. The UP has positioned itself in such a way that any disgruntled member of the NPP will feel at home to join the UP than probably to join the NDC. But the NPP knows currently that the youth, especially those in Ashanti region, have some kind of information that indicates that they are drifting towards the NDC. So if you have a UP that has been established and they are championing their own cause, probably they have the umbilical cord, tied to the MPP. If they are equally disgruntled with the current architecture of the MPP, they can easily join the UP.
Okay. All right, Doc.
Finally, on this third force, whether we go to a
Doc, now, Eric, can I my can endorse? I am not never remember do.
I was the idiot, wonderful. Lastly, on this particular issue, Eric, I want to say, CCR, no, actually, young political conversation now, discourse is now recorded now on TV, on radio. Obia original Chada or Kasama Chada after the elections. How many CPP people do you see on political platforms with morning shows or account or articulate CPP views? How many people do you see that in PMP, PPP, ACP? When you know why you're there, a banner baba swan, no organize or no phobia so that everybody will know they want what you say. This is different from the UP that has the movement for change, the one metamorphose into UP. Why different? Virtually all important platforms in this country, the Adoms, the Joy, the TV3s, the cities, and all, there, one crowdful, we invite one. Into no, no work there, on said a two-pronged approach. There we have two views, two opposing each other, the two extremes, that is MPP and NDC, see nothing good in this, see nothing bad in the other as well. Into there, dynamics of Wakakano or sister. Into the Kakrano say if they are actually going to be a third force, this agenda will create one and send all of them into UP, also go to one, so that every time we introduce on the or stand for this, communication director, this is the operations, this, and so on and so forth. That in itself will also help them one way or the other.
Doc, Medasi Arepe, Wombreng Adam hen, on the show. Member studio. Now, membership. I'm going to start from Dr. Amakon because the party muna UP will forever. Abom Wana.
Not at all.
Hey, this is Alan Chamantino.
Some good numbers. And then maybe me who topics no. Now me dream who very clearly because I saw walking a very thin line and person will be bunny cassette here. But in the same way, no, I will say I cannot correct. Here were lunch and Martina decided to say finally or better. Now I don't even know. No movement for change. I said so a party and
party you have to be recognized by EC as a political party.
Okay. So yeah, but wishing well in the change na the obeko so aye bia on but a few things na meant here say one for din UP na academy bisi. It just shows that ancestral or some obsession kakra with MPP home. Because it seems like when himself UP our coffee, we will say a can asem because it's a idea of buying money na UP edino it's linked to MPP. And see that was my first thing. But really, any idea I also be Metehana may share election results, for 2024. I share. Say it's already known to Cheddar any votes as saying Alan Chemartin, but it was more than double. Chedanya 56,000, Alanchamatenya 20,000. Nti me constituency kranka unti me mpendi MP ho. Nti me sure say idea was say MPP for. The only matter ne say as if your previous panelists now Kasano. Say ordinary omoko panel so I say omoni NDC for no more kind the same speaking notes. And no na idea e was say my nika because to me Emma Obi Jane say I say NDC for na show much because star omoye omoni amano I say twins o mu free ebusuya ba ko na apie but it's understandable era Alanche Martin the me say nyese ideologically and on MPP for ideological problem in Tino Jai. Na oko election, who say na ne support party ni mo dwindle. In fact, your super delegates no onya less than 200 votes out of 1,000, nipa 1,000 ne to abano. Emma sa time na new entrance honorable Kennedy Japan cry it ni benya votes ni bi say so betia say de ntia na hane kakra ntia or feel say enunti obe free party ni mo but I think it's unfortunate kakra because party a waboa party no ba party ni so waboa opa era lanche matin di minister we di ambassador we nya we MPP ni mo nti aka bibi nti kra na oni ye mu pa ya a cordial that would have been better because me sure say I should die in Bonibia. Bonia and say I'm an ND and Dimas presidential candidates. But we wish him well and 1 year back but any day boy you send me kind mention not cry so 20,000 into me friend DMP ho and ebe wish him well.
But I mean like Dr. Oshre was explaining no Obi or when people more feel disgruntled, I will find comfort in UP. Well, what would be a threat to you?
That's it's an assertion. It's a suggestion. It's the same way I mean to make me at Nahaka say by my experience. No, Obi and Shedan nipa bibring and Adom be free MPP. It's nina asama speculate. There's no fact to that say Obi or disgruntled MPP move be UP. Indeed, Alanche Martin decided to be MPP. No, nipa be brady nechi. Most of them have come back. Yes, most of them recently, about 3,000 of them such a letter said they want to come back. Amnesty and Semnebayan. Indeed, he's left with a very small group. Nipa be brady for primaries no stayed in the party because Oshe MPP Abako Semna a party Achepa has been around almost since the inception of Ghana as we know it. Nyama bebre si mateme hu bebre abem but it didn't affect us. Ade I am a chiche mereka Oshe NDC for na 2008 after 2008 election or obeda samwa enso tene hu free party ni mo or tene hu free party ni mo ye gidi kakra ye what's going to happen obey NDC for anko sihwe and chebia he faded off the political arena de na ye de hu kra na say omo founder NDC for founder yere yera Nnawotwe Duajema Rollins ono nso tene hu. But NDC is still, they are still very powerful as you say, I guess from time to time, politics here, Ejuma or nipa bebre ne yenti, and Tawantawa bibeba, am will be a castle but say a bear affect your son dear. A bit to me at Nahaka confidently say, I don't see that happening.
All right, Baba.
Yeah, I'm in China, Doc. I think this is the first time I'm in any set, so I wish her well. Deputy Communication Director
of the team Baumia.
The team Baumia, the field Baumia. It is evidential that the last election, clear say that is an election, an opposition party, either NDC or MPP, elusu unprecedentedly. Either percentage and answer by nominal figures.
Obian Lusu by 41 now be.
And I may say Obian Lusu and in a presidential election
with 41.
Me say
historically.
Me say this is the most disgraceful presidential election Ghana are witnessing.
Before I man no say figure not the most disgraceful no
that's what you are saying. That's what you are saying before. Let me say currently. No, meaning the American.
Okay.
Meaning the American.
Okay.
So in 2016, that was the West.
Okay.
No two ways about it. Fact, fact.
Yeah.
But in there, I know what I say. 2024 is the worst.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm talking about. On Movement for Change Now United Party, Ghana 1992 Constitution, particularly Article 3, 1 and 2. MIT as say Ghana enye a two-party state. And the Constitution even put a prevent a bar parliament, which is the legislature. Say on met na se kra so dayaka say on person mo ye emra Ghana eba be just two-party state. I hope you know that. In the church say Ghana you practice multi-party democracy. So if individual and as a group of people is to say on be come ho abom ate amanyoku and as a movement are participating in both presidential and parliamentary election. The first thing I will tell them is to welcome them and may wish you on the best of luck in the political dispensation or sphere of the Ghanaian politics. But me one Zambia, I need to ask myself and ask them first. Difference between a movement and a party, no anything. Because many abema, oko Ghana for what? Now bisa won say there any party, there any movement. Omeka chira say even movement cry a party. So long as easy approve ama oda and krata no so no. I'll contest the election. You are seen as a party, even though you say oh you're independent.
Yes.
Even though you say you're independent.
There are some.
But the electorate, the electorate, you know, they are any mina say easy approve oda ballot so. Whether party you, no party you. The here say easy approve oda so. So for me, the change from movement to UP, you know, embassy because the personalities now no mudi movement enim no omwa no mudi party enim. It won't change anything. Chada eba first in the last election ameboa oba as independent yet audited anameboa. So if say independent dia enye until waba be party and you think say ebema why strong there one kasa what na hano mabobo gum abobo other political parties even that most of them were even strong than today UP yet Oma contested the election since 1992 they haven't even gotten 5% before. 2 maybe some will say what is the ideology of the party UP or UP plus because we share one omudi party ni nim ni na omo ye nkrofo omo fi NPP and haba and omo enfi NPP because omo disagree with the ideology but omo issue ni say the ideologies of NPP ye niema omo ye no the current NPP no are departed from it and until one omo the party ba ombe follow the real ideologies of the NPP. What is the ideology of NPP? Capitalism. Osikeni nye sikeni ne hieni nye hieni.
Is that what it is?
A property owning democracy. That is them.
Yes.
That is them. So the capitalism explanation may not be the truth, but I'm saying that the ideology of NPP ne say o hieni nye hieni ne sikeni nye sikeni.
But that's wrong. The interpretation.
That is the center left people. Is that not the case?
But who explaining on my ideology? What defines them as an institution?
Is what?
That's a say more identity. Say
we have socialists.
Yes.
Which believes that they believe say as I see a bridging the gap between the poor and the rich. That is the socialists.
But the NPP over the years have said that even though they are capitalists, it doesn't mean, sir, like you explained here, that's why they will tell you. That's why they will tell you, sir, Oshe NHIA on the buy no it is helping the poor. They will tell you it's a free education to help the poor.
And I say property owning party and a property owning ideology. What does it mean? That is what it means. That is property owning principles or property owning democracy. That is what it means. Say the rich should be rich and the poor should be the poor. The fact that in one or two occasions, Oma introduce some socialist policies. And
so let me bring the meaning of or the division of capitalism. I'll say an economic and political system in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit.
And I make sure say when you extend it, it is a property owning party.
Yes.
Which is not in doubt.
Exactly.
Because a property owning. The explanation is that me say
explanation by you.
The fact that in one or two occasions Oma introduces some socialist policies doesn't mean so much sign on position from a property owning party. So if you have a group of people who still believes in that ideology, then the issue is that there is no difference between the current UP Plus and the NPP.
Okay.
I don't see any difference in them. You talk about third force, and I know they also spoke about third force. Emra movement by Utiyomu communicators nina ombaka say they are the strong third force. When they were even movement. Yes or no? They told us that they are the third force. Omwabeji abemwane fi both NDC and NPP insane. So if you look at the narrative today, omo rehash exactly what they said when they became movement. Because yenya third forces, supposed third forces are individual or independent parties are independent individuals and as a party so more omukra the same sense of so omu the strong third party and a third force. Yet election be call they still don't get that 5% even from our presidential election. My last point on effect, whether it may affect any of the two political parties or not.
So that's any. So Duopoly, mo enjoy NDC NPP about.
So I'm going to say whether it may affect NDC and NPP, it is based on the two of parties and Duopoly, exactly. And affect particularly the NDC in any way. Because anyone share two different ideologies. Maka in Africa and particularly in Ghana, party a ebe timia boa o maina mo maino afa ntoma pa ifra is a socialist party, not a capitalist party or property owning party. It's the socialist party. And for the past 10 months now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama exhibited that in reality, and all our economic indicators, even prices of goods and services, are pointing to the right direction. It is a party because if NPP is a capitalist, property owning, UP is a capitalist, property owning, that means both of them share the same ideology. So both of them are going to fight for the same group of electorate or who believe in their ideology. Because if you believe in socialist ideology, and to Abama Ubia or a capitalist.
Did reform affect the NDC's chances?
Did what?
Reform, the National Reform Party.
So
and then even could do
assessment. Time is very important.
Okay.
Time is of essence.
Okay.
Time is of essence. So yen to me and make that assessment out of context. And so to me putting in a certain context because one, yen share the ma Alan Efi party in him. Then you compare to then also we have also run time. Time has run till now. So we cannot have that debate now. But the Americans say, if Omununa share in the same ideology, that means that they are going to fight for Ghanaians are believe in their ideology. Some will say Yentoma NPP, we got Yentoma UP because after all, Omunina are the same ideology.
Okay.
But younger socialists, no, Obi believe in those socialist ideology there is no way about Obama, any of the party.
Okay.
They will remain with the NDC. And this year, when you say Alan is also known, whether true or not, but what we grew up to know, say, oh, you're an Ashanti.
Yes.
Yes, that is what we all grew up to know. I know in the last election, people were trying to say, on your typical Ashanti and other things, but are political. So you imagine, say, Otimeshi Sheni Niema Ye, Ejina Ye, and NPP also known in the Ashanti region as almost strongholder. What it means is that Upe, Obefa fa and Obefa part of their vote in the Ashanti region. But my last point also is that who say I am very disastrous as the NPP left Alan and his people to finally leave movement and become a party. Make us sad because recently Omo issue amnesty. Say Omo issue amnesty to Obi Bia Wefi party. I thought that would have been an opportunity my elders and penny for more party no, and come back close to Alan and his people and speak to them. Yet you have some communicators, particularly even from Baumia camp, saying that amnesty, Alan and their people are not part. And you see, really? Yes, I can even quote Obi to say Dennis Miraculous Abuaji. He said it. He's on record. Yes,
you are obsessed with him.
He's on record. You see, we are not obsessed with him. But what is fact is fact, and it's on record that he said it. But when you say party, to say no, maybe party and the party to say nyamisom. Yet the nipa and so if you have issued amnesty, it was the good opportunity to have a dialogue with them and bring them back. Yet you couldn't do that. Mate. You lost the opportunity.
Look,
first,
Memo, I'm giving you 2 minutes on this.
2 minutes. Yeah. Hey, it's very small. First one, they say, you can't ultimately say you are Dr. Baumia failed because we're losing election back home. And they just also boss you failed because on the card they're not a president, full president. And at that time when he lost by 1 million votes, now you're unprecedented. They didn't see that. Ghana for 1 to 9, Amasa the number, and as you say, Otia Kunya, so your president, Aina Ibuno. Nyanka so you failed in T. Sarkasa Nehun here. Number 2, on the issue of capitalism, socialism, what was. The last time I checked, NDC for Monkasa socialist, Muslim social democrats. And the system at Ghana running, it is not a socialist system. And he said, we are social democrats, you are not running a socialist system. And where from all this kasakasa about we know na omupese esika for we sika here. And the simple ideology of the NPP ne say individual responsibility. So we will be a opesa capitalism the key tenant ne say individual responsibility and the ability of the individual to own property. Socialists ne say the means of production the property should be owned by the states. That's what it means. Yeah. That means the states will own this multimedia. The states will own this. Then normal pekwanya or mobile evenly. Into we are saying there are very few true socialist states. Me sure so what now person to kwanya. Me no say or person to kwanya class or beko America or beko UK. They are not socialists. They are capitalists. Into then now person etina ha near to mfutrogu amount for any to send socialism na. How many examples of that have succeeded in this world? Enter China no more so practices some form of. It's not. They become even more capitalist. And the difference, capitalism is to say, you believe it's a war individual. NPP, they believe in it's a war as an individual. What's the middle say baby? Enya sika, edisi war dan edine ya odia. Abaye meka say edine ya would ne dia. Abaye meka say adwuma na waye no ye ne dia. Yen na ye kai ebre ene anyama akoso okrom ha from the predecessors of NDC, PNDC time. Adi anomode ye jom forma na makola makoshe no na KJT ama mo bo mo. Nina ka hunti na NPP galvanize ye say ye beba. Se uye jom ni ana uye business person na business ne ye wodi. Abayin sen abayin timi metete wo. Nti sa socialist capitalism ni de mombongo. About say you're and Martin betting me some votes in Ashanti region. Some way I feel like you can't want some be well say and we've already we're testing the popularity of Ashanti region and I may share results in CCR no. Only 8,000 votes for Ashanti region. 8,700. You bet me up a hole on crying had this nipa no motoma yɛwura lanchematini na agudem ho mobɛkɔ hɔ pɛpɛɛpɛ. So I don't think say it's necessary say a big creative fear and panic bia wa ba go nim, that's fine. Se mu begya na chisha by mono I mean NDC se mu begya na chisha e be hu de ekoso. But if you want to continue like that enya de is sustainable. Send ya mekan e more nipa 2 big people out of your party efrim. She say when was the last time I take so be about you will better some wedding. Here are your mama former first lady crown. We see her in the capacity as first lady, not because we are cutting a party. In Tisaniama way, as I said, it's a human enterprise. And from time to time, a basic. But in Timinjina so create blow it out of proportion to send near BB who be partners. We wish them well. But sir, a collaboration on money NDC for 1 year and a day. So mupa. Omumbra out boldly. No one can check Ghana for. Na Ghana for say who UP omu NDC are next. No one dealing with them as such. But so person created to send you unique or you are saying your own thing. Na said there be money or mummy no more ready from the same speaking notes there. And yeah, there be buying.
Okay, all right, Medasi, Mama.
Oh, just a minute. Just a minute. You see, Mama set a record straight that NDC is not behind the UP plus.
Okay.
My reason for saying that, can I also say almost Akpalu Echiaya? Because if Akpalu's team comes to sit here, they will repeat the same thing. So let's stop this issue that say Obi agent and no Kasana in favor of party. You tend to say he is in alliance with another party. NDC is not behind Alan. We are not behind the UP plus today.
Okay.
Right. Two.
Okay.
Me issue of say Alhaji Bawumia failed. And as I said, Obika Asema is about contest. You can decide to say who you sue a contest of number of times to draw your conclusion. My reason is the outcome of the election by way of nominal figures.
Okay.
And a regional so edeka. Maybe
Mate.
no maybe no make it a serious point on say NDC Eco market and Ayebo and Ma and those things. That thing must be stated clearly. That so be Kasana one chereo Butaya eta echi NPP came to power in 8 years. Etomribi no munam farm gate.
But one NDC time.
No, meaning. No more talk border from the farm gate to the Ministry of Agric. Say Omoton. What was the reason? Say, as I said, near my boy then, Ebafem. And a market woman in a chitty Ghana for. Into more the car be called a jum, a foam. No
okay.
Those times in the PNDC time, it was the same thing that people were hoarding. And Crawford hoarding and Nema, no matter at exorbitant price. As a socialist party, and I pay Ghana for years. We entered and bring the things out.
Okay.
You sell it at a price, and ordinary Ghanaians. Bet me, it was not something to beat anybody. So that's then my
yeah, break near by a bar. We'll go to a med swallow in sense. So near to us.
We finish at 10.
Yeah.